Hi, it's Rich Tehrani in the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. We're here at Interop 2009 in New York, and today we're speaking with Ed Cox, who's the VP of Marketing and Carrier Sales for Varaha. Ed, how are you?
Doing well, sir. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for being on our program today.
Our pleasure.
So, first question on everyone's mind is, where did your company name come from?
Varaha is actually a mountain range in the Himalayas, so it seemed that, and the website domain was available as well.
And that second part is extremely important these days, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Exactly. You don't want to have a .biz or a .us or a .info.
Or something in some other language that you don't speak.
Exactly. Although I'm seeing .tvs are popping up. They seem to be pretty prominent.
That is true.
But I don't want to get off topic because I was going to ask you next. Tell us a little bit about your company, please.
So Varaha is a fixed mobile convergent software equipment vendor. Been around since 2003. Actually started in the public safety sector as a police car would move into the police station. You'd want to get all those transmissions off of the public data network, which at that time was very expensive, and move it on with session persistence as well as feature persistence over to the Wi-Fi network on the stage. So that then became the genesis, if you will, for U-Mobility, which is our product line now, fixed mobile convergence play for voice communications. But of course it's an IP-based using SIP, so it supports any type of session, which of course in the IP world, voice, data, and video.
So if I'm an enterprise customer, how does that help me?
So the capabilities of U-Mobility is to do two basic things. One is to bring the cell phone in and make it a member of the 4-digit dialing community of the enterprise. So you look like you're at your desk, whether you're out and about on the cellular network or whether you're actually at your desk or in some other Wi-Fi network, the airport, coffee shop, wheresoever. The other piece is, of course, you're extending all of the telecom policies that are instituted at the enterprise and making those applicable to the cell phone as well. So if the user has permission to dial internationally, if they have the ability to set up after 5, they don't want to be disturbed, all of those features and capabilities and characteristics, if you will, of the enterprise voice system are applied to the mobile phones as well.
So the proliferation of smartphones and devices with Wi-Fi is good for your company.
Has been extremely helpful. Yeah, the introduction of the smartphone obviously is what it is we're banking on, not only being able to use the phone capabilities, but also the computing capabilities of the device as well.
And how do you use the computing capabilities?
Well, obviously the client is doing some fairly interesting things behind the scenes, one of which, of course, is if you're on the cell phone network, you're actually doing a 2-stage dialing process to get the call back into the enterprise control. If you are in the Wi-Fi zone, it's obviously using the battery management capabilities to maintain all those multiple antennas at the same time and make sure you're giving the same user experience as a cell phone would have provided prior to being introduced to U-Mobility.
Now you've got some new product announcements which sound very exciting. Could you share them?
Absolutely. We had the announcement for the show as the support for the BlackBerry lineup, which is new for us, but also an extension of our support for the Apple iPhone. A number of industry analysts have commented that because of the peculiarities of the Apple iPhone OS, that the ability to work fully within an FMC type of solution would not be quite so capable until there were some changes. In particular, the ability to do handoff between Wi-Fi and cellular. We're announcing at the show here the ability through the Apple push notification service to be able to do exactly that. Move the call through a Wi-Fi network and then bring it over to cell and back again within the existing structure of what is the Apple iPhone today.
Have you noticed any of the latency challenges of the push notification network that Apple has?
The push notification is very much like an SMS, so it's a best effort type of thing. But even with that, we're seeing 90-95% of the time it's coming on time when it needs to be there.
Really?
And so we've been quite pleased with the results that we've seen so far.
Okay, my tests have been probably in the somewhere between the 70 to 80% range, but I guess it depends on the applications as well.
And the market that you're in as well. If you're in the Dallas market or the New York market or the Phoenix market, it would behave differently by the rights of the demand and the time of day and all those kinds of things.
That's a very good point. So, okay, that's interesting. I've been waiting for a company to come out with this type of technology now. So there's an application in the App Store?
There's an application in the App Store, and it's available with the 2.0 release. It'll be listed out here about December 1st. As you know, there's a little bit of a lag between development and submission.
Sure.
So as soon as they get that approved, then
so it's got to go through the approval process.
Right. Once the application has been approved, that's a rather lengthy process. Once you're then updating software, that's actually a very short process. It takes about 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay. But once that's up there, we'll actually be able to support the subscription service then that's available within the 3.0 within the App Store as well. So when the subscriber buys the system, the software for their iPhone, it will then be able to charge them on a monthly basis a small stipend for the use of the software.
Oh, okay, great. And what are some of those costs?
So there's two ways to do it. You could buy the U-Mobility application and use it within your own devices, like say against an Asterisk platform. For that, then you just have a monthly recurring charge with a subscription service. If you bought through an enterprise or a public carrier that was providing U-Mobility as a hosted solution, then the signal would be sent to the U-Mobility controller that we had registered. We would cease and desist on the monthly charge, and then all the monthly charges would be then the appropriate response would be for the enterprise to pay for that bill, or then the carrier then to be as part of the monthly charge for the service itself.
Got it. Now, the BlackBerry, is it the entire line?
It is. It is the single mode devices, which are still predominantly the lion's share of the devices that are out there. The 8100 line, which is the Pearl, the 8300, which was the first Curve implementation, as well as the 8500 series, which is a released in August device, is being carried by all four of the major carriers, as well as the 8900 and then the 9000, which is the Bold.
Now, what about some of the other operating systems that are out there?
Well, the only one that we don't support so far is the Android line, and of course that is fast becoming an enterprise type of device as well. There have been several announcements coming out of new phones coming.
So you've got a Droid in the lab?
We've actually, because of the J2ME development that we've used for the environment for both the BlackBerry and the iPhone, it'll be a matter of changing the environment section yet again for an Android, and so we're expecting to be able to come out with Android at the first of next year.
Okay, so that's...
So that brings us Nokia, the Symbian line, all the Windows mobile phones that are available, as well as the iPhone and the iPod Touch, the BlackBerry lineup, as we just talked about, and then the Android. At that point, you're starting to run out of phones.
Oh, so the iPod Touch as well then, okay.
Indeed. The architectures are very similar. Now, the iPod Touch, of course, is a lousy cell phone, but with the application of U-Mobility, it turns it into a Wi-Fi dialer.
Well, it's not a cell phone, right?
Exactly. So there's no
It's worse than lousy.
It's worse than lousy. Well, it was a pun. Sorry, poor pun.
No problem.
That's all righty. But in a campus environment where the vast majority of the students have an iPod Touch, we're finding some really great traction with the educational community to be able to go in and offer at a different idea of how they might be able to get back in the telecommunication space again. When you think about all the dorms in the 1980s lost those telephones when the kids brought all the students brought the cell phones, it puts them back in the telecom space again.
That's
so
very exciting.
Got some interesting things going on there as well.
Well, that's great. Good luck. Keep up the good work. And
Thanks,
thanks for being on the program today.
Our pleasure.